Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means? It's Iconic Wednesday. Today, I bring to you an iconic woman I could tell you about the whole day long. Esther Mushemi has a story that is one of resilience, of consistency, of risk taking, of passion, and hard work. Quitting a job that she had been at and gone up the ranks over 15 years to get into something that she called a kiosk and to grow it into a multi-million industry. Now, this is a story that you want to listen to. So grab your notebooks as I sip some tea and let's get this conversation started. You are quite the iconic woman. I like something that you say in your book, that success requires courage, like it is not for the faint-hearted, it is not for people who are not ready to take risks. Were you always like that as a kid? Did you have that mindset, or did you learn as you grew up?
I always say, even when I was young, there was something that was ignited in me that allowed me to believe in my greatness. So, along the way, I have always had this in my mind.
Yes.
That Esther, you are meant for greatness. And therefore, all the time, in whatever situation I found myself in, I would reach out to bring out my greatness. For example, when I was a student, I knew my greatness would be manifested by being a good student. And so, at that stage of my life, all I cared is to read and lead and deliver position number 1 or thereabout. When I went to the university, I went into the university with the same mentality. So again, I fought and worked to be the best student. When I got to work, I guess that's when I began to realize that I cannot have it all the time, because at that point it was not about me, but there are other partners and other parties that are involved in the work environment. And so I joined one of the top 5 audit firms when I left university, because my background is BCom accounting option. And today I always ask myself, why accounting option?
Why accounting option?
One, because those are the careers that we knew then.
Even growing up, you knew you wanted to be an accountant.
It is either you are an accountant, you are an engineer, you are a doctor, you are a lawyer. That's how far we could go. Accounting option was for the bright students. So all those who thought ourselves as bright would go for the accounting option. Now I know better. If I was to go back, I guess I would do marketing option. because
Why so?
Because first of all, I feel that I'm more aligned to that today. Especially being an entrepreneur and knowing that marketing is so important. For some reason, I feel like today I'm more comfortable in the marketing aspect of my business, and I always wonder, having practiced accounting for 16 years, honestly today, I don't want to see numbers. So to the extent that I want to tell my finance manager, please, you have one advantage, that your CEO knows has a lot of financial background. I understand numbers like this. If I see a number today, a week down the line, I'll still remember the number. And because of that, at the back of my mind, I know the accounting background that I have, the finance expertise that I have has truly helped me in manage what I do today. So when I got there, therefore, I started, when I went to my workplace, I started as an audit trainee. And to be honest, my salary was 4,000 Kenya shillings.
That was your first salary?
That was my first salary.
Wow.
You may think it's a long time, but even then, it was little money if I allowed that to get into my heart. But there's one thing I told myself, and I have said that in my book, Give Me My Mountain.
Yes.
I've said that I took that 4,000 with a grateful heart. I was happy that somebody gave me an opportunity to join the labor market when many of us were tammacking. Me, I remember I walked into the streets of industrial area. Do you know how terrible industrial area was then?
Yes.
But we tarmacked, we took our CV, we took
There was no other way.
There was nothing else.
You had to hand deliver
Yeah,
it.
this thing of saying that you know so and so, who did we know? Our fathers knew nobody.
Yes.
And that is something that I always want to collect in the mindset of the young people. Because there is a serious belief that today you can never make it.
If you don't have a godfather.
Absolutely. Kwanzaa, you are calling it a better name. Now you say if you don't have a sponsor, you know that you cannot make it unless there is somebody who is backing you up.
Yes.
But I am an employer. But there's one thing I know.
Yeah.
If you work towards being the best, not only in education and in academics, to be the best in what you have purposed to be, to have the right attitude, because for me, honestly, attitude is everything. Somebody, somewhere, will find you along the way. It doesn't matter who it is, but somebody will find you along the way. So my 4,000 shillings, I told you I took it with a grateful heart. Grateful to my employer and grateful to God as well. But there's one thing I promised myself. This is just an entry point. In 6 months, I will double that salary.
Did you do it?
Yes. And maybe the question you should ask me, where did I get the confidence knowing that now I'm no longer the only partner in this relationship? Remember what I told you?
Yes.
I believed in my greatness, and I was not going to crucify that for anything. However, I knew in an audit firm, there were 2 things that I needed to do to progress in my career and at the same time to increase my salary. It was not about knowing the partner, thank God. It was not about knowing somebody outside, thank God. It was about passing my exam, CPA exams, and ensuring I deliver my assignment. An audit firm has serious deadlines.
Okay.
Our timesheet was into 15 minutes. Imagine you are charging a timesheet every 15 minutes. Why? Because that is the smallest unit that you charge a client. Because our clients, we charge them on time, it's time-based.
Yes.
So 15 minutes, you at the end of the month, for 40 hours in a week, you needed to give a report before you get your salary. What did you do every 15 minutes? So if it needed me to finish my assignment outside work, rather than charge extra time in my timesheet because that will work against me, I would rather go with a file at home, work on my assignment, and bring a complete file the next day. That's the discipline I got from that work environment. To get to do and pass my CPA exam. And me, I never failed my CPA exam except one time I got a referral. And I'll tell you why I got a
Why
referral,
did you get
because
a
it was
referral?
interesting. Why I got my referral? See, I had started having a boyfriend.
This is about to get juicy. We'll call me a boyfriend.
Yeah. And then he promised me that he's going to come and pick me and take me to the exam room. As a young girl, see, I am waiting and I'm excited that I'll be dropped by my boyfriend who became my husband.
Thank God.
The guy came 20 minutes late.
You were still waiting?
Honestly, I was in Kenyatta Market somewhere, and what would I have done at that point? And he came, I didn't even talk. I entered the class 25 minutes or thereabout, just enough to be allowed to get into the exam room. Because after that minutes or that 5 minutes, I can't remember, you would not have entered the classroom. So I did the best I could. I passed all the others except I got one referral. And that one referral, young girls, your boyfriends, you need to watch out.
Did you tell him he cost you a referral?
No, maybe
now he knows.
Yeah, now he knows. And I never took it serious because in the sense that I passed all my exams quickly. So, and after the 6 months, this is where I was going. Not only did I double my salary, I actually tripled my salary.
Wow.
And from then on, it was an upward trend up to the time I moved from an audit trainee, the lowest rank in an audit firm. I became a supervisor, I became a manager, a tax manager, and an audit manager. At the end of the day when I was leaving, I was a salaried partner. I know you want to know why I quit.
Because you have it all. At this point, I think you're married.
Yes, yes, I am married and I have 2 children.
Two children,
yes.
And you've gotten up the ranks. The farthest probably you could ever go at that point. Why would you want to get out of that space?
I like the way you put it, and I want to challenge that.
Okay.
Because you say the highest I could have gone at that point. But my mind was set on becoming a profit-sharing partner. Note I said a salaried partner.
Okay.
And a salaried partner, your responsibility are more or less at a profit-sharing partner. The outside people, by the way, don't know that you are not a partner. Inside, you are not at it as yet. So, and I was having conversations with my partners.
Yeah.
And truly, I was pushing it because I knew, remember, I believed in my greatness. I knew in my head, I'm having nothing less than a profit-sharing partner. That is the optimal.
Yes.
Of an auditor. Anything else below is not it.
Yes.
Oh. And for 3 years I waited. Year 1, year 2, year 3. And to be honest, one day I felt I've had enough of this. My greatness has been threatened, has been oppressed. I need to take my life back and control my destiny. And because of that, I was prepared and willing to take the risk as much as my stakes were very high.
Yes.
And get out and chart my way to the best way I understand it. When I quit, I set up an audit firm, Esther and Company. It's an easy thing to do because my background
is in that.
Yeah. But I knew, coming from a big farm to a small farm, that was not it. When telecommunication came,
yes,
somehow I felt, do you know that sixth sense?
Yes.
Because it's not about data.
No.
It's not about that you have done business plan. It's about your mind, first of all, was prepared that you want to get into another level of greatness.
Yes.
And when this opportunity comes, and this is what I recommend, to the extent you can understand it, put your first foot in. The rest you will learn when you are there. And that's exactly what I did. And so, I opened my first shop.
You've called it a kiosk before.
Oh yes, Dukawala, somewhere on Koinange Street.
On Koinange Street, yes.
And that is when I was faced with the real tests of an entrepreneur, because my audit firm, just to take you back a little,
Okay.
I was there for 5 years. And to be honest, I had one major client, the late Dagamalos. I'll ever remember him. He trusted me with his business at a level I cannot understand. And he used to pay me good money. I restructured all his companies. And up to today, I feel so proud about that. So when I opened the shop now, I left the audit firm to my workers then. I still could review the files because I could not let go that audit firm totally. But within 6 months, I knew this is not for me now. That shop I opened. After I set up the shop, I finished all the money that I had.
Oh.
So my first transaction with Safaricom was Kenya shillings 50,000. And to be honest, and this is from the bottom of my heart, that's all I had, and that's all I used to start the telecommunication business that I'm so well known about. I moved from that one shop to an award winner, several award winner as a Safaricom dealer of the year. The first 6 months were truly very hard because I was competing. Oh my God, this is becoming a bit emotional for me. I don't know, and I've said this story for so many years. I was competing against people who had lots of money. I thought I was working very hard. I thought I would get perhaps a high commission because I was putting all my 24 hours in the business. But that was not to be for 6 months. And eventually, along the way, my journey was 50,000, tomorrow I'll do maybe 60, the next day I'll do 100, and that was the trade.
Yes.
But after the 6 months, my suppliers, my customers started trusting me. And to be honest, there are some people who could give me as much as 10 million and tell me, Esther, go and buy airtime. Not recorded anywhere, and will come for the airtime at the end of the day. And this I have never said before, but they were my Muslim community, because their value system is so strong that once they trust you for real. And this is something I would like to see more among us. The Asians do that very well as well. I would like to see that among our community, where we trust each other and we support each other even as we walk in our business life. And after that, it was an upward trend for me. And at some point, to be honest, I earned one of the highest commissions that was not registered probably in another 3 or 4 years. And after that, oh my God, now I could talk. now I could open my branches and all that. But also let me share with you another experience which I think was important along the way. Remember I told you I had only one shop. And I discovered a way of doing business then that had not been tested. We were the first people who introduced delivery of airtime to the shops. Before, they used to come to our shops. But I figured it out somehow, that in this one shop, I can employ many people and use them now to go and deliver airtime to our sub-agents. And I had a team of about 60 people who used to work from that one shop and deliver airtime to the city of Nairobi. In fact, at one time, Safaricom wondered, how am I doing it? Because there was competition which had more than 40 shops because they had finances to open 40 shops in one day, 20 shops, 15 shops and all that. Esther is operating from one shop. It became like, how does Esther do it? The secret was, I had more than 60 people operating from one shop. But one time, let me tell you, competition. I woke up one day and I report to office and those people are not there. I have stocks because in the evening, they didn't tell me they were not coming.
Why didn't they come?
I'll tell you what happened. The whole day, I'm trying to call them and they're not answering. They're not picking my phone. And these are young men and women, honestly, I had literally picked from the streets. You know, literally. Some of them were mari-mari. Do you know that thing, mari-mari?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I literally picked them from the streets. And I brought them into a formal employment. But one day they were not there. I called them, nobody is picking. I told my manager, can you call them? Perhaps they'll pick your phone. At 4 p.m., they picked the phone and they say they have gone to competition. In fact, they were no longer wearing my shirt. But let me tell you, in those 3 months, my sales never went down by more than 10%. What do I see? That's the God I serve. That's number one. And number two, that's what you can achieve if you are determined. And honestly, we sailed through. But let me tell you, a major decision that came out of that. Because it is always good to remember that a crisis should not bring you down. Even at this point, when we are going through a serious crisis, it's always good to sit back and reflect and ask yourself, is there a possibility that something good can come out of this? Personally, I'm going through those motions even as a group CEO of Samshi Telecom. And the decision that came out of that is never again will I allow a group of people to hold me in lump sum.
Okay.
Never again. And because of that, I changed the structure and the way I was to do my business thereafter. What was that new way? That new way was decentralizing my sales function. And how was I to do decentralization? Open branches in Karatina, open branches in Kigekomba, open branches in Isiri, open branches in Komorok, open branches I don't know where, everywhere possible.
Open branches.
I open branches. So when Safaricom goes to Nyeri, I am in Nyeri. When they go to Embu, I am in Embu. That's how I today have over 100 shops in the Samshi group of companies. Of course, I've invested in other telecom companies, and so that's how I made that decision, and that decision has helped me to withstand the test of time. Even when there is so much pressure. Of course, today, you know, there is so much competition, but that decision I made that day made it for me. And therefore, I am glad, because what they thought was bad for me, at the end of the day, it worked for good for me. And today, I can speak about the experience with a smile on my face, because it never brought me down.
I have a question, Esther. Quite a captivating story, and life lessons filled in there. Did you know the person who did this to you back then?
Yes, I do. Only that I don't want to mention the person.
It's okay. We won't mention them now.
Yes,
You've already mentioned it's a him. So,
yes, I do.
No. Couldn't be. I mean, they were partners.
Yes, and a very good friend for
And a very good, exactly.
Yes, right. It
So,
was competition.
It was
yes.
competition.
Yes.
But having this information and knowing that this person let me down, we've grown up in a society where unasikia ku revenge. You want to pay back. You want to do something bad back. You want to also organize or steal the people back. At that point, did you ever feel like you needed to do that?
No.
What?
To be honest, no. First of all, two wrongs don't make a right.
No, they don't. I know that song. No, that song I know.
Focus and remain on your lane. These other things outside are sideshows and distractions. If you know what is right, pursue that. Pursue your journey. Pursue your destiny. And I'm not saying by any chance you ignore what is outside there.
Yes.
But you are hearing it and understanding it and digesting it and internalizing to the extent it makes your journey better, to the extent it allows you to be more successful, but not so that you can go cripple somebody else. This is what I say. Each one of us have their own blessing. And the giver of those blessings, imagine if you are meant to have a Mercedes Benz, and I am meant to have a Mercedes Benz. Let me tell you, God does not get my Mercedes Benz to give you.
Nope.
He has yours.
Yes.
So why should I be bothered by yours? I want to be able to appreciate you. I want to be able to congratulate you. I want to be able to celebrate you. Because when I celebrate you, I also build energies to allow myself to pursue my Mercedes. Honestly, I have no time for bitterness, anger, vengeance, all those negative things. Me, I have no time for them.
Absolutely.
I don't know beyond there. I have that is a 1970 or 1980 song.
Take two.
You know the word hospitality. Yeah, I thought it was, you know. Today I laugh because I was sitting down